The Collegian News, with news anchors Corey Aiken and Samantha Ruiz. This is your weekly webcast update.
Hello UTB TSE students, welcome back to the Collegian News. I'm Samantha Ruiz.
And I'm Corey Aiken. It's great to be back with you all this week.
The City of Brownsville has awarded a contract for air traffic control services to prevent the closure of the Brownsville-South Padre Island International Airport. Rick Saldivar has the details.
The contract between the city and Robinson Aviation was established in response to a recent Federal Aviation Administration action that could result in the closure of the airport's air control tower, among other airport towers throughout Texas. During the city meeting, April 2nd, Aviation Director Larry Brown said the contract would provide enough time to bypass the emergency situation that FAA budget cuts have caused and allow a long-term solution to be formulated. Brown said the contract is crucial for the continuous growth of the airport. Robinson Aviation, which is based in Oklahoma City, will be paid $44,487 per month for their services. For the Collegian News, I'm Rick Saldivar.
The results are in for the Student Government Association elections. Reporter Brenda Lopez and Alex Rodriguez have the results.
Stephanie Mendez is the Student Government Association's new Vice President of Administration after her rival, Jose Arturo Guerra, was disqualified, university officials say. The election results were scheduled to be announced last Wednesday, but were delayed due to an investigation of grievances against the candidates for allegedly violating the election code, Student Life Director Sergio Martinez said. Throughout the election, the vice presidential race has been the most heated. Guerra and Mendez argued through Facebook and email. There were reports of election code violations ranging from the destruction of campaign materials to the illegal use of iPads and computer laptops to gather votes. Guerra received 534 votes and Mendez received 518.
Disqualified me for another complaint from a student that I wanted to lend her my computer to vote, but that is actually never specified on the elections code. It is a very difficult process to go and vote with all the links that were set up, and I did not break any rules concerning that. The candidate that was running against me, she works at the Dean of Students' office and right outside of one of the advisors' office, so it might be some conflict of interest.
No, there is no truth because Heather is a very professional individual. The election committee, made of Heather, of Joey, Martinez, of Sergio. No, there was no bias.
Guerra told the Collegian that he will appeal the election committee's decision. Juan de Dios Flores won the SGA presidency with 658 votes. His rivals, Angelica Corona and Miguel Gonzalez, received 287 votes and 135 votes respectively. Flores was cleared by the election committee of alleged violations due to a lack of evidence, officials said. Erendira Santiana won the race for Vice President of Historical Archives with 575 votes. Her opponent, Karen Zamora, received 470. Santiana also was cleared by the election committee of alleged violations due to a lack of evidence. For the Collegian News, this is Alex Rodriguez.
The SGA will be planting a tree in observance of Earth Day. Alex Rodriguez has the story.
The Student Government Association has voted to buy a tree that will be planted on Student Union lawn during Earth Day. Resolution 32 initially was tabled during the April 2nd SGA meeting. Senator at Large Miguel Gonzalez suggested amending the resolution to buy 2 trees from a local nursery. The Senate decided to table the resolution until its April 9th meeting in order to receive a quote from a local nursery. On April 9th, Gonzalez told the Senate that he has found trees that cost about $70 to $80 each.
And I tried to look for a tree that's about within 3 or 4 or 5 years of growth. Yeah. They only have about a year or 2 yearlings or 2 years.
Amend or add plan B in this in the case that if whoever's in charge of including distributors, if that doesn't work.
So I believe if physical plant is not willing to accept purchase of the tree from the nursery, then we can just go ahead and let them take charge like they did last year.
For the Collegian News, this is Alex Rodriguez.
Samantha, what are some of the incidents reported to campus police this week?
Well, Corey, on March 22nd, A student was found to be in possession of drug paraphernalia after a resident assistant reported smelling marijuana in Casabella. The resident assistant was conducting a random room inspection when she noticed the smell in an apartment at the student housing complex. The student was not in the room at the time. The campus police officer found a marijuana crusher with pot residue, an Altoid tin, a smoking pipe, and an ashtray in a cabinet. The student will be cited.
What's on the minds of students? Here's Alex Rodriguez with this week's segment of I Think.
The I Think question of the week is, do you support same-sex marriage?
Yes, I do. I believe love knows no gender or no boundaries, so there is no reason for not allowing gay sex, or gay sex, not gay sex, but gay marriage and gay sex, or even have anything against it.
Okay.
Between a man and a man, or a woman and a woman.
I do not.
Why is that?
Because since I'm a Christian, I believe what the Bible says, and the Bible says that God does not really support that kind of relationships. So that's what I believe. I believe whatever the Bible says.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I think that everyone should be happy, and we have like no right to judge anyone or say who you can marry or can't marry. It's what they want to do with their marriage is their thing. Yeah.
For the Collegian News, I'm Alex Rodriguez.
In sports, the UTB-TSC men's golf team placed 8th and the women finished 9th at the Bash at the Beach tournament hosted by Embry-Riddle University.
And the volleyball team traveled to Edinburgh to scrimmage with the UT Pan American Bronx. Michelle Spinoza fills us in.
UT Brownsville will conduct tryouts for its women's soccer team from 9 a.m. to noon Saturday on the UTB-TSC soccer field. For more information, call women's head soccer coach Nick Baratarovich at 882-7385. In other athletics department news, the UTB-TSC men's and women's golf team took 7th and 9th place, respectively, in the Bash at the Beach tournament hosted by Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University April 6th and 7th on the LPGA International Golf Course in Daytona Beach, Florida. The women will get back in action at their conference tournament, which will be hosted by Southwestern College on April 22nd in Oklahoma City. The men will travel to Houston for the Red River Athletics Conference Tournament April 29th, hosted by the University of St. Thomas. How do you feel about going into conference?
I feel good. I have a good feeling about this year. We've had good play all year, but we haven't had that full tournament. And I have a good feeling that either the team or someone individually is going to play very, very well. So I'm excited about both and very optimistic.
The UTB-TSC's volleyball team defeated Texas A&M University Kingsville and the University of Texas Pan American in scrimmages held April 6 at the UTPA Fieldhouse. For the Collegian News, this is Michelle Espinosa.
That's all the news for this week. Thank you for joining us.
Don't forget to tune in next week for another edition of the Collegian News. Have a great day.